last video, I showed you guys how to get the first center that was not I already had the white and I already had the yellow, and I then started with making the blue center. So you should have 3 centers if you're watching this. I have white, I have yellow, and I have blue. If you remember, I'm gonna keep bringing this up because people tend to forget this all the time, but if the white is on top and yellow's on bottom, it goes blue. Then the next side is red to the left of that. So I'm gonna work on this next side, which is going to be red, okay? So I've got my blue and I'm gonna make this side red. I have one red one here, and it gets a little more tricky as we go because once you start getting the the centers, excuse me, it gets a little tricky because you have to not mess up the other centers. So the farther we get in here, it gets a little bit harder. So like I really want to just like turn this one and move it over to be with this red one, but then I'm going to end up moving one of these sides. So let's look at what we can do. If I have my red one here, I want to line it up either here or here so I have 2 next to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my cube so that now if I move this red one over here, they'll be together. If I had left it over here and I moved it over, it would have been here and they would have been diagonal. I want them up and down like this. So the problem is that if I move this red one over right now and line them up, that's great, and then I've messed up my blue. Okay, so we're gonna talk about how we don't mess up the other center that we have. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go ahead and still bring that red one, oops, that top layer doesn't matter. Sorry, bring my 2 red together. Notice that it did mess up my blue, but I'm gonna put it back in a second. What I'm gonna do is, if I were to move this blue one back, I have then lost that red one I just made. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull my red one over. Then I'm gonna turn this whole layer over here that won't mess up my whites or yellows and put the red on top. And then I can just pull my blue back over where they were. And now I have my 2 red. Okay. Now our next goal is gonna be to get 2 red here. This is a little tricky because if I just look at my next face over to the left, I already have 3 green. I don't even have any red and I need 2 red. So let's go see where those other reds are. Okay. Ooh, this is actually a great case because we already have them together. So it's a little harder if they're diagonal, but if they are together, that's actually gonna be kind of, I don't wanna use the word easy, but not as bad as if it were diagonal. So, all right, I'm gonna do this one at a time. I'm gonna first move the red ones to this face, and then I'm going to do the same move that I did with my yellow, where I'm gonna line them up with, like if the 2 red are here, I'll line them up here and then turn my cube so that I get them all together on that side. So let's see, here's the 2 red and here are the 2 red. I'm gonna move them one at a time. So what I'm gonna do is, again, if I just move these, it's gonna mess up the blue that I had, but that's okay because what I'm gonna do, there's my blue. I'm gonna move these 2 red and then I'm gonna turn this twice and to put them on the other side. Now I'm going to realign my blue. I'm gonna bring those back. Okay, so let's look what I've done. I still have my blue side, the 2 red that I already had. Now I've moved these 2 red over and they are 1 step closer. So they were all the way back here, I've moved them here, and my goal is to get them right here. So remember that I know some of you just want to go, okay, they're together, but then you've messed up your blue. So I'm gonna show you what to do so we don't mess up that other center that we already have. I'm gonna turn my cube like this, and I actually want them to be, this is just like the step I showed you when doing the yellow 2 pieces. So I'm lining them up. It seems like the wrong thing to do, but I'm gonna show you why that will work, okay? So I have my 2 red here, and I have my 2 red here, and they're in the same place. So I'm gonna move this up, sending those other 2 red away, but then I'm gonna turn this twice, so these red are on the left now, then I can bring back my right. So now I have all my rights, or all my reds in the right spot, and I have not messed up my blue. So if you see that, I've got white, I've got blue, yellow, and red. And now we're on my last 2, which I'm in a great spot for flipping my oranges and my greens. I will add those into the next video.